Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Legend of Dungeon. Legend of Dungeon is an odd game to say the least. Now, don't get me wrong, that's definitely not a bad thing. To sum it all up, it's a 4-player dungeon crawling roguelike. Your party always starts at a tavern. There are no ranks or levels or classes or anything like that to worry about. Everyone always starts off on the same foot. Being a roguelike, the levels are always randomly generated, and as you might imagine, your objective is to get as far down into the dungeon as possible. The dungeon has 26 floors, and that is 26 floors of absolutely fantastic pixel art, topped off with an amazing lighting system. I cannot stress how fantastic this lighting system is, and it allows you to have completely dark dungeons every now and then. The floors will be completely dark except for you holding a lamp or a torchlight or miner's helmet or something like that that will light up only certain areas of the screen, and it just looks amazing. It fits the art style really well. In my opinion, the combat, arguably the heart of the game, is its weakest link. There are only two attacks you can pull off. There's the basic attack where you hit the button and it swings whatever's in your hand. It doesn't have to be a weapon. It'll swing a lantern if you're using it for light, or chug a potion if you have that in your hand at the moment. Or you could hold the attack button and charge up your attack and then release it for a massive burst of damage. There are a handful of ranged weapons and spell tomes in the game, allowing you to summon or illuminate an area or basically take out things from a distance. While this simplistic combat isn't a problem in and of itself, later on in the game the enemies get really strong, and as you can imagine you have to swing at them quite a bit. Because you have no way of avoiding damage like blocking or shields or anything like that, you're limited to two methods of attack. You can either run up against the guy and button mash until he's dead, and this can take some time when the enemies have a fair amount of health. Or you could kite them and charge up your attack, hit him once, then charge it up and go at it again and again and again. And when enemies have loads of health, this becomes really tedious. Now, don't get me wrong, the combat is probably not as bad as I make it out to be. I just personally don't think it's as well crafted as the rest of the game. One of the best parts of the game, I think, is the sense of adventure, the exploration and discovery. And when finding all these seemingly random items and unlabeled potions you don't know what they do, or stepping on a pressure plate that releases a horde of skeletons from a trapdoor behind the wall, or even a lever that brings up a bridge that lets you cross the lava safely without, burning to death, or brings up some stairs so you can climb, because the game does actually, contrary to how it looks, have a sense of verticality to it. The game is well worth the purchase in my books, especially considering the art style, the soundtrack and the exploration, because not a lot of games do that nowadays. They just hand you everything and leave nothing for you to figure out on your own. The permadeath might put some people off, but that's part of the charm of the game, and at the end you get to see how far up the leaderboards you are compared to everyone else. The game is $10 on Steam or £7 depending on where you are, and I believe the devs are working on starting classes and pets as a free update to the game, which is absolutely fantastic. The lack of online multiplayer is a slight drawback, because the game is meant to be a party game at the end of the day, to be played with your friends together. Adding an online element and Steam Workshop support would make this game just that much better. The devs were kind enough to give me an extra copy to give away to you guys, so one of you lucky viewers gets to go home with the key to the dungeon, so to speak. Anyways guys, that's it for me. I hope I gave you a nice idea what the game's all about. See you around next time.